That's one other thing. I can't believe Mary finds you, he has issues with you physically. Many of us find you very incredibly sexy.
I'm his son.
Thank you.
I'm his son, and I think he's
now I feel embarrassed. Her issues are not revolving so much about the physical, but more to do with issues of security. The feeling that she has from the first century was that I didn't keep her secure. And one of the feelings that she reincarnated with was this desire to have a man keep her secure. Her father is quite a well-built man and stocky, and that's her image of somebody who can protect her, who can keep her secure. She hasn't, because she's yet to feel through that emotional process. She views me as being too slight to be protect her.
Snap.
Hey, I might break, and it's true, I might. And so, you know, a lot of it's to do with that. But a lot of it is also what happened. We've been together for 2 months, and we were overseas, and she met up with me overseas, and we were together for a couple of months. And during those few months, a lot of emotions come up for her, and a lot of memories come up for her about her first century life. Now, if you can just imagine for a moment, you're 30 years of age around about, and for the first moment in your life, you're having memories about a 2,000-year-old person, and they feel like they're your memories. So how's that going to feel for you?
It's scary.
It's going to be very scary. She's had a very good upbringing compared to myself, perhaps. Like, her family have been much more loving and caring with her than my family have with me. And she, the way we split our emotions was that she had a terrible time in the first century. She had lots of abuse and rape issues in the first century to deal with. And, you know, her life after I passed was very hard as well. And I took many of those memories. When you're in the soul union state, you can actually take memories and split up the memories that you have as a complete soul. So I took many of her memories. So I came into the world believing that I'd been abused and sexually abused and raped, whereas she came in feeling free of all of those things. So I've had to work my way through all of those kind of emotions as well. Now, she obviously having a much more, shall we call it, normal existence, this is a major confronting thing for her, as you can understand. And I understand completely, like, the emotions that she's going through. One of the emotions that she's facing mostly is the emotion of anger towards me. In the first century, I did make choices where I knew she was out of harmony with love and I was in harmony with love, so I made the choice in harmony with love. But because we were a couple, she believed that I was actually making choices and not doing it together. And she wanted me to do it together. So obviously there were quite a number of those kind of emotions. She was also quite angry for me for choosing to die, as she sees it. And she feels that I left her, abandoned her, and she's still got a lot of those emotions as well. There's also emotions of shame about the memories that she has about her first century life, particularly sexual shame and shame related to some of the events that occurred around her life. And it's very, very scary for her to even contemplate dealing with any first century emotion. So the way she's feeling at the moment, or the last time I spoke with her, was that she dearly wants to follow the divine love path. But she dearly does not want to have any first century emotions. Now, that's a pretty difficult conundrum to be in for her, because most of her causal emotions are related to the first century, just like all of mine have been related to the first century. And so it's very, very difficult for her now to feel. So, but she like, when you meet her, she's a very beautiful person, and you will see her strength of character, and you will also see her humility too. She's a very humble person, but at the moment not humble about dealing with first century emotions. Yeah. And it's very, like I said, it took me years to work through these issues that she's been confronted with over a space of 2 months. Yeah.
Is it not possible to draw a parallel between these projections that happen because of the Jesus belief and the soulmate issue? Like, is it for me like I feel that that if I have to feel the soulmate, that to believe somebody is my soulmate is irrelevant really.
Mm-hmm.
And is it not the same then? Because the soulmate is really like a love union, so that has to be felt.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
And is it not the same then with the Jesus thing that you Jesus?
Yeah.
That whether someone believes you Jesus or they do not believe it is in the end irrelevant.
Exactly.
What matters is if they can feel
Yeah.
your Jesus-ness or the qualities of Jesus in you.
Yeah. And honestly, what I'm also learning over the last probably 3 months in particular is that I need to give up the need for anything from anyone. Mm-hmm. And that's a very, very huge statement when you think about it. It means that you're going to give up the need for somebody to treat you nicely. You're going to give up the need for somebody to treat you like they love you. You're going to give up the need for somebody to want you or desire you. You're going to give up the need to do any of those
Understand
things.
you.
Understand you. You're going to give up the need for someone to understand you. You're going to give up the need for someone to be loving to you. All of those needs eventually will all disappear because love only gives. Love doesn't demand something in return. And so one of the huge things that I'm working through at the moment is how I've set up demands from my soulmate before I even met her. One of the demands that I had from my soulmate before I met her was I wanted her to love me. I wanted her to desire me. I wanted her to have these feelings of wanting to open up her heart to me. And I wanted to have these feelings of, desiring to be open with me. And all of those things are projections of what I was wanting from her, and they are unloving projections that I need to now own and I need to work my way through. And so that has been really confronting as well. Actually loving somebody with all my heart and yet not feeling like I don't even have a feeling within me at some point in the future, because it's not how it is now. I don't have a feeling within me that I need anything in return from her.